Welcome to the Doc Gallagher Radio Highlights. Doc is on the air Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on KAAM Legend 770. Got a question or a comment for Doc? You can reach him at 1-800-GFG-4DOC. Now, here are some highlights from one of Doc's top shows.
I want to plan for disability of myself or my spouse and avoid the expense, publicity, and loss and control of court conservatorship proceedings if I am disabled. A lot of people don't realize how onerous being appointed, if somebody has to be appointed conservator or guardian, what kind of a family mess that is, and how it can be, in my experience, how it can be. John, again, this is another area people don't think about. I'll just get appointed guardian to take care of my wife. I'll get appointed guardian, take care of my parents. What's involved in being appointed guardian, and how do you avoid that?
Well, in the first case, it's a legal procedure, and it's an adversarial procedure, because not only
Why would that, I'm playing devil's advocate here, why would it be adversarial? I want to take care of my parents, let's say. Okay. Why is it adversarial?
Well, but failure to plan in advance means that the court will then oversee the care. And when you have the court doing it, there's going to be
friction.
Well, not necessarily. Yes, maybe, or no, maybe. But the point is, the court, the law says at that point, there is a fiduciary duty to the ward, who is the person who subject of the guardianship. Subject of the guardianship. So,
okay.
So not only will you, let's say you're the healthy spouse and you're applying to be guardian of your incapacitated wife, the court will appoint what's called an attorney ad litem, which is a court-appointed attorney to look out for her best interest, to represent her.
Assuming it's the mother. You say her.
Well, I'm saying we're using the example of you and your wife. So
okay.
So it could be the other way around. Whoever the person is subject of the guardianship proceeding, the person who is incapacitated, the court will appoint an attorney ad litem to represent their interest.
All right, let's take the case.
So that's my point. That's where the potential adversarial relationship comes in. That attorney ad litem is responsible for making certain that the best interest of the incapacitated person are addressed.
And the surviving relatives may not agree with that. That's where
No, they may not. And right. Very often there's when you talk about friction, very often there are more than one person trying to be appointed guardian.
Exactly. Now, where you and I have seen it, it's where usually it's a parent that has become incompetent for whatever reason, and one or a couple of the children resent the fact, or maybe mistrust, or suspicious of one of the other adult children who's taking care of that parent, and to make sure that their sister or brother doesn't take advantage, real or imagined, doesn't take advantage of the ailing parent, one of those children sometimes will petition? Is that the correct legal term? Petition for guardianship?
That's right. And
now that's adversarial with a capital A.
Well, but you use the example of children. What about stepchildren?
Oh, that's even more adversarial.
We've had a recent case where a couple married for the second time, been married for 18 years, and now the husband is in an advancing stage of Alzheimer's and really cannot make decisions for himself. No powers of attorney, no declarations of guardian, no advanced planning at all, and because it is a second marriage, most of his assets are separate property and have been under his separate control. Therefore, for the wife to have any management control, she's going to be forced to go through an application for guardian.
This is Doc Gallagher, the man on your side, and friends do not let their friends take their money anywhere else. 8% tax deferred, 10% on a guaranteed income account, 15% on a growth account with no market risk. See, I used to be a stockbroker. Been with that big New York firm, later on with the big St. Louis firm. Been there, done that. Won't do that again. Found out firsthand the reason they call them brokers. You give your money to them and you end up broker. Your broker won't tell you about it. Your banker won't tell you about it. Only an independent investment educator. The nation's money doctor, Doc Gallagher, 8% on a tax-deferred account, 10% on an income account, and 15% on a growth account with no market risk. And by the way, it's not one of those where you're locked up forever either. 800-43-44-DOC, 800-43-44-DO.